Hello, welcome to the third episode of Mental Health in Sport. We have with us today Dr. Ravi Kumar, a sports physiotherapist at the Vasima Sports Medical Center. Hi Ravi.
Hey
It's
Shantanu,
good
how
to
are you
have you
doing?
here. Good. So we are going to be talking today about mental health from your perspective
Okay.
as a physio. Firstly, what I would like to understand is in your experiences so far of interacting and working with players right from the grassroots level up to players who are looking at becoming professional.
Okay.
What are a few mental aspects which are important for them to grow consistently in sport and also be able to understand the physical challenges that their sport will in a way throw at them?
So first of all, I'm just glad that we are, talking about a topic which has been, a social stigma and people don't usually talk about it. So it's a good thing that we are coming up and taking initiatives and talking about that. So first of all, just to explain what a sports physiotherapist role is, while working with any athlete, is basically it's first is your injury prevention thing. So we have to identify various different factors which could affect athlete in their sport. So performance-wise, we need to know that about we make them undergo some form of screening, some form of assessment, and then we see what factors could put the athlete into the risk, and we tend to prevent such injuries with some or the other form of exercise.
Yeah.
So that is the first part, is the injury prevention part. Secondly, we also focus on the rehabilitation part, where any athlete, whether sustaining a minor or a major injury, when they come to us, we need to assess them clearly, and then what we do is we tend to provide them some or the other form of treatment, therapeutic exercises,
Sure.
or some or the other modalities, and tend to work with them. Depends on again how long it's going to take for them to recover,
Yes.
and then work with them for their rehabilitation throughout their rehabilitative process. So the third most important thing for any athlete is the return to play. So after they have rehabilitated and they have recovered from the injury, what happens is how they are going to go back with the same level of confidence, the same level of physical state to perform better. So in that way, there are certain things which you have to keep in mind, and then we work towards it for their return to play. Coming to the your question, which was about how any athlete's mental state from our point of view, how it matters. First of all, any athlete, whether injured or not injured, goes through a lot of stress related to the training and their practice. They tend to take more criticism from their coaches, from their parents. So we need to understand what their emotional state is. Something we talk about mental toughness. So how they are able to take up criticism, take up something related to like whatever, if the coaches are not happy with their performance or something, then how they take up. So it's very important for us to look into that aspect also.
Okay.
Secondly, when it comes to injury like someone has sustained an injury and they come to us. So along with the assessment, we tend to listen to the patient about their history, about how did it happen, when did it happen, and how to determine how severe it is and what actually the injury is to come to a diagnosis. So in other aspects, we also tend to listen to their emotional state of mind.
Yeah.
So about the emotional response to that injury, we need to know that. We need to understand that not every individual is going to have a different state of response, emotional response to their injury. So if athlete comes to us, and there have been many various different examples, they come to us and they say that they have that fear of injury, that our coaches won't let us play. So that fear is there, that apprehension is there. So we need to keep in mind that they are going through this kind of emotional response.
Yeah.
Secondly, they also come and then they say that they are worried about their game, their performance, how it's going to affect their performance.
Absolutely.
So third point is there is some myth related to the injury, like the coaches talk to them, the parents talk to them, and they read it up in the internet or something. And then what happens is they have it in mind that probably this injury is going to take a while and I need to rest, or I need to maybe this injury is not that severe and I can go back to playing, but why my physio is not allowing me to play, and why they are advising for some form of rest. So when it comes to that, we need to understand and we need to educate them about their injury. And if that doesn't happen, what happens is this idea, whatever they have read or spoken about, and what happens is it grows and they tend to believe that it's something which is beyond their capacity. Control, yeah. Then again, when it comes to return to play, athlete goes through a myriad of emotional responses. So lack of confidence, and lack of concentration or focus. There is always fear of playing, giving 100% on the field, or during practice or during fitness. So it's very important to understand those concepts, be relevant, be aware of those strategies. When I talk about a physio's point of view, I feel this is very important. First, to be aware of such emotional responses. Second thing, we need to be aware about what is that point when your role ends and you need to refer it to a sports psychologist. So when we have to refer it to you, So suppose we are talking and we're helping them out with their exercise, and then they say that we're not able to sleep properly, or you tend to notice some changes in appetite. So we need to understand that these are some of the red flags or the symptoms which are beyond your capacity. So you need to refer it to some, you need to go to a better professional for some help. So if that doesn't happen, what happens is it tends to lead to some or the other form of eating disorder, irritable behavior. It tends to result in what we call as sleeping disorders or insomnia.
Issues like
And also as we are dealing with young athletes, it often results in substance abuse, which could be extreme. So we need to identify those emotional responses. We need to also be aware that at what point it's beyond our capacity and we need to refer to a sports psychologist. So that way, it's very important that a physio understands the player's emotional state of mind along with their physical state.
Condition. Absolutely. So along the same lines, like you said, that understanding and also educating the player about how they are feeling emotionally, when they have just been injured or when they are recovering from an injury, say a few weeks, into the injury is often important. And along with that, it's also crucial, like you said, to be able to for players to understand how to take in criticism and feedback as well from coaches and everyone surrounding them. So along the same lines, what I would like to understand is for a player, nursing an injury and wanting to get back onto the field, in the most effective and confident way. According to you, how much does patience and perseverance play a role for the player themselves?
So whenever any athlete comes to us and then they undergo any form of assessment, and when we talk to them, what happens is it depends on player to player. What happens is one player could be having a lot of patience, very understanding, and they understand how we are trying to help them, and they tend to follow them with all their, like if we give some exercise to them, they tend to do it at home. Many other players, mostly what we see is the larger group, is they tend to not have much patience towards it, and that's when we are educating them becomes an important role. Educating them that whatever exercises we are giving them, how they need to follow it, how important it is for them to follow, and what may happen if you don't actually do it. Our exercises, if we see, are from simple to complex. So we move stage-wise, like if they are able to perform a good form of exercise in a proper form, we tend to move upwards and make it more complex. So what happens is for a player who has a good amount of fitness, they don't have patience to do a simple form of exercise, which may be crucial for his recovery, but they may not understand the importance of that exercise. So as a physio, it becomes very important for us to explain it to them.
Definitely. So setting, progressive goals so that the
Progressive,
athlete also
yes.
stays motivated and
Exactly.
they understand that it's more of a step-by-step process,
Yeah.
and it will take time for them to get back to
Sure.
the usual selves. Right. So again coming a little bit to now the mental health of you as a physiotherapist,
Okay, yeah.
as a sports science professional.
Okay.
What would you say are a few couple of important points that you feel are critical for your mental well-being when you're working, and in a way they enable you to give your best.
When we talk about how mental health is affecting anyone in the workplace, I can say that some of the issues which we face is like having a work-life balance. So when it comes to our role and what we go through, the mental pressure or issues, I can say that work-life balance is a major issue. What happens is sometimes personally I may have to work for 10 to 11 hours irrespective of what my actual time is. So, but again it takes a good toll on your personal life again, because you tend to become tired and then you don't feel like socializing much, and that issue is one which I feel not only physios but other healthcare professionals tend to face. On a personal note, what I feel is whenever I feel too stressed out or whenever there's a lot of work, and then when I wind up at the end of the day, I tend to go work out in the gym, and that's my form of self-management, because if I don't do that, I feel too stressed out. I feel too burnt out from the demands of the work. So that's like, and it can vary from from one physio to another. So it can be as easy as meditating. So meditation could help, or it can be something which you feel like doing.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I feel it's very important to have that, and to take out time from work and spend some time socializing, meeting your friends, talking to your colleagues. I feel it's important. Second, I would say there is a lot of physical demand, because we tend to move around the athlete, we tend to demonstrate them certain exercises. So it's very important for us to stay fit. And if we are not able to again give some time for ourselves, again physically it takes a good toll on us.
So for more than a year, we have been in the pandemic, and much like ourselves, athletes have also gone through a lot of different emotions and different experiences. Some of them may have been challenging, and some of them, they may have been used to from before as well. So in this period, how do you think your work and your relationship with athletes has changed?
Okay.
According to you, have there been any additional challenges mentally that athletes have faced, which may need more attention and more efforts in a way to be able to address them, and so that the athlete feels better?
So yes, I believe COVID-19 has taken a huge amount of toll on athletes. What has happened is, because there have been cancellations of tournament and not many competitions are happening, what has happened is athletes are not able to focus enough, because they don't have any thing to focus on. Because I remember many athletes who were at top of their game before lockdown, and since there have been various different stages of lockdown, and now we are here, what has happened is their performance has been affected, and that puts the athlete into a risk of injury. What happens is, because they think that we had been training and lifting heavy, or we had been performing so well, they tend to feel that that is still there, and then that's where our role comes, and we educate them that we need to take it slow, because there has been a good amount of gap from play or fitness or any form of training. So when they come back, it's very important that we advise them to take it very slow, and go build on that, like start from a very basic intensity, very less intensity, and then slowly come back to your form. When we were going through the lockdown phase, what happened is we couldn't be present physically for any athlete to deal with their injuries. So it was more of staying online consultations, tele consultations, talking them over phone, trying to help them out how much ever we can. But somehow what happened is this being present for the athlete was not there, and that could be something which the athlete would be missing out. That yeah, we are there to talk them out and help them out, but if there is not someone physically present there to be there with them, again it takes a good emotional the toll on them.
Yeah, definitely.
That comes, yeah.
Surely, and all of us as the support system of athletes
Exactly.
should certainly, be open to communicating with athletes that, the different emotions that they will face,
yeah.
not only, when they're injured, but also when they're doing well, are
Exactly.
completely natural, right? It's only
Yeah.
human, as you also mentioned. And the more we accept that, it's going to be a whole range of different emotions and thoughts also they might face, the more likely they are to, in a way, approach and be open to discussing them, so that the appropriate measures can be, put in place,
Taken, yeah.
so that their mental health is made a priority.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you, Ravi. It was great talking to you about mental health from your perspective as a physiotherapist. So in the next episode of Mental Health in Sport, we are going to be in conversation with a sport parent to understand their perspective. Stay tuned.